Welcome to the final episode of Season 2 of FHS Season Tickets. I'm Michael.
And I'm Max, and this is probably my last episode ever as I go off to college next fall.
And in this show, we are going to be going over the 4 best picks and the 4 worst picks that each of us made. And we start off with one of the worst picks for both of us, and that was in the college football playoff. I had Ohio State, Auburn, USC, and Baylor, and none of them made it to the college football playoff. Max, what was your college football playoff prediction?
I had Ohio State, who was close and, probably took themselves out of it with the way they played against Michigan State. I had Notre Dame, who, without injuries, probably could have. But, again, being independent, I think, hurts them a little bit in that. TCU, who, before Trayvon Boykin got hurt, was looking all right. But, the defense blows because they play in the Big 12, and the Big 12 does not play defense. And then I had Auburn, and I don't even want to get into that.
And now we're going to start off with each of our 4 worst picks. That was like kind of one pick at the start that was just bad for both of us. But now we go into one of my 4 worst picks. And the first one is going to be, I said the Buffalo Bills were Super Bowl contenders in like week 5 when they were 3-2. And yeah, they weren't very close to making the playoffs. Max, what was your first bad pick?
I had going back to the Auburn one, I had them winning the SEC West over Alabama. And I said in the show, and I quote, I doubt Alabama makes the playoff for the second straight time. And let's see, they go on to win the national title.
Yeah, and now we go into my second bad prediction, and that was Auburn winning the SEC. So kind of similar. We were both on the Auburn hype train, and it was not correct at all. Max, what was your next bad prediction?
I in our Contender vs. Pretender show, back in whenever it was, midway through the year, you think? Mm-hmm. I said Clemson and Oklahoma were pretenders.
And now going into my bad prediction, I said Clemson was a pretender for the playoff. I said Iowa was a pretender for winning their division. That was just bad. Let's just move on.
Well, that division stinks, let me tell you. As a Big Ten fan, that division stinks. But, and then I had Missouri as second in the SEC East, and I'm pretty sure they finished like second last. They won like 4 games, and their offense was so bad. It was worse than watching Michigan State in the Cotton Bowl. Let's just put it that way.
It was a jumble down there. Like, I believe South Carolina was last, and either Missouri or Kentucky were the next last. I know my Vanderbilt Commodores finished in 4th place, so anybody trying to say we are the worst, anybody trying to say we're the worst team in the SEC, we finished above 3 teams in our division, and we finished behind 3 teams in our division. That's perfectly average. Let's move on.
Well, let's think about it, Mike. They didn't even make a bowl game, and like 6, 5, and 7 teams made it.
So what?
All those bowl games, and Vandy couldn't even fit in one.
We finished 4th in our division out of 7.
Akron over Vandy.
We were better than 3. We were worse than 3. It evens out. We're an average SEC team.
I'll give you that.
But now we go into my last bad prediction. And I had Northwestern beating Michigan, and they got destroyed. Max, what was your final bad pick?
I picked in an upset special, Kansas State over Oklahoma, and Oklahoma ended up winning that game 55-0.
And now let's get on a more lighthearted note in our final episode. And one of my better predictions was Clemson over Florida State in the ACC, and also Deshaun Watson winning ACC Player of the Year. That did come true. Unfortunately, I did think the ACC would get left out of the college football playoff, so I couldn't get that right. Max, what was one of your best picks?
I had Michigan at 3rd in Big Ten East, which is kind of basic, but you got to think about it. A lot of people still thought Penn State was going to make that jump, with Penn State having Hackenberg and James Frank and all that stuff, and Penn State just stinks. But Michigan finished right at 3rd behind Ohio State, Michigan State, Michigan State and Ohio State. But it's kind of funny, they were a caught punt and away from being second, and likely putting Ohio State in the playoff possibly. So it's kind of funny how I thought that I was in Michigan at the time at a D2 school visit, and I could not stop laughing at all the Michigan fans in the crowd at the game I was at. And it turns out they ruined my season, along with Ohio State ruining my season too. I wouldn't say though. I don't play for Ohio State. I just really like them.
And now we go into some of my all next best predictions, and I had Florida and Memphis both upsetting Ole Miss, and both those did come true. So that was some pretty good predictions by me. Max, what was your better upset specials of the week?
So, week one is normally, the big high-ranked teams play the cupcakes, the teams that are like the MAC schools and the really bad Power 5 teams. And Northwestern played Stanford. Mike took the one I wanted to take, which was Bowling Green over Tennessee, which, as you know, I love the MAC. But I threw up a Hail Mary, and call me Doug Flutie, I converted that thing. Northwestern over Stanford, 16-6. I mean, it was kind of a weird Stanford to see, as, we thought after that game they were kind of done for, and they went on to have a pretty darn good season. But, converted my Hail Mary on the year.
And now we go into my NBA great prediction of the season, and I had Kristaps Porzingis winning Rookie of the Year. I was on his bandwagon right from the start, and he's been absolutely sensational so far this season, looking like he will probably win Rookie of the Year. But, yeah, I just love Kristaps Porzingis now. He's probably
back to when the Knicks fans booed the living crap out of him at the draft.
Don't be crying at the draft until you really know how he turns out. But, Max, what's your next prediction?
So Florida had a quarterback battle going into fall camp and into the season, as Treon Harris started last year for him. But I thought, a highly ranked Will Greer would beat him out, and he did. And until Will Greer got caught juicing, they were like 6-0. So I mean, pretty good prediction, and maybe they listened to me to start Will Greer.
And now one of my better upset specials of the week were UCLA and Arizona beating Utah. And I believe that was in back-to-back weeks. So back-to-back upset specials that I did get right on the West Coast, teams beating Utah. Max, what was your next good prediction?
So the MLB playoffs came around, and I'm not the biggest MLB follower. I mean, I'll tell you that. It's just a long season, hard to keep up with. But, I do keep an eye on it. And I had the Royals going all the way, and they did.
Yeah, that was a good prediction by you, and this is just the final show of the year. It's just really crazy that we finished 2 years on FHS Season Tickets. I believe we're at 75 total episodes.
I mean, it was a pretty fun run for Maxell. I don't know if you're going to be continuing the show or not the next couple of years, but I'm sure if you are, I'll be listening.
Yeah, I wonder who Maxell Jr. will be, but that will wrap it up.
Oh, dude, that's like 10 years down the line.
No, but
co-host. Oh, Lord.
Max thinking about his son.
Oh.
Life goals, guys, and that will wrap it up for the final episode of Season 2 of FHS Season Tickets. Max, what do you want to say as the show comes to an end?
Free Gucci Mane.